So it's hard for me to understand. I don't get the support. I didn't get support either, but I did the doggone thing because my mother never saw me play football, baseball, or basketball in high school because she was working. The first time she really got to see me play was in college. She would drive 6 hours to Tallahassee to see me get down from Florida State, but never saw it in high school because she was working on Friday nights. So it was a challenge. So when you ridiculed me, when you naysayed me, when you doubted me, when you hated on me, I didn't give a darn because between all the smoke and all the ignorance and all the adolescence, I saw my mama in that hospital pushing a darn cart. And you think I'm going to let a critic who has critics criticize me and I'm going to adhere to that foolishness? You got to be lost your mind. I was out there balling for my mama. Now, right there, you're supposed to clap.
And yeah, and I'm trying to keep a straight face, but this is inspiration in the flesh. So you are at Florida State. This is before the internet.
Mm-hmm.
This is before social media. This is before what we think about today and talk about as NIL.
Right.
Before the transfer portal. You and I were sold on the idea, or at least us in that era, we were sold on the idea that the bargain for exchange for a student athlete, regardless of where they came from, was such that it was an even trade if we traded our athletic prowess, our work ethic, in exchange for that educational opportunity. And yet, there was something about you at 18, 19 years of age that was paying attention to the economics of the business.
Right.
And so you said your mother was your inspiration for wanting to take care of her, but the business part of it.
I watched everything, man. I watched the way people moved, the way they reacted. I had several different shows, white shows, black shows, Hispanic shows. I watched everything. I watched the relationship between Fred Sanford and Lamont. I watched Archie Bunker and Edith. I watched the Partridge Family and the darn the Brady Bunch. I watched the Jeffersons. See, I watched Good Times, even though it never was good. I don't know why they called it Good Times. So I watched all that stuff and I just studied. And I prepared and I said, okay, I'm gonna take that out. And then I had these heroes that I couldn't touch, I couldn't feel, but they were my heroes. But I never tried to emulate them or imitate them, but I did take little bits and pieces from them and incorporated them myself. You can see a little Ali in me. Because he was bold and he was brash and he was confident and he was, oh, God, Muhammad Ali, I loved him. He was the baddest of the bad. Dr. J, this man was a brother, then they called him a doctor and he didn't have a PhD. I love that. I love that. I love Hank Aaron for what he endured during the home run title chase. I love how he stayed focused. Even the gentleman ran out to disrupt him when he was running around the bases, when he eclipsed Babe Ruth, and he still was focused on just getting home to touch that play. And my last guy, I know you may disagree at this stage in age, but O.J. Simpson was O.J. Simpson, not the O.J. that the young people know. I'm talking about the old O.J., not the O.J. and the Bronco. I'm talking about the old O.J. where he had the white community, the black community, he had all communities, and he was beloved by his teammates. Right. So I took bits and pieces out of those persons and I incorporated them. And I learned from them. I learned from their mishaps. I learned from my father's mishaps. Let me put a pin on this and tell you this. See, I told you and I passed